Hiya, this is Kate from Daisy Nails, creating fun, funky and fabulous nails. This time of year, when it's grey and it's cold and it's miserable in the UK, there's a TV programme that comes on every year. I think we're into series 12 now, and it's called Death in Paradise. Now, this little island is always in view from just about every beach scene they do, so they obviously use the same beach. But this is the view from the DI's shack that he lives in. And I was watching Death in Paradise now, and I just decided I was going to make this view on a nail. So I got it was a bit of creme de la creme, sundaes and perfect white mixed together to make the sand. And that's a number 6 application brush. So I didn't start watching Death in Paradise at the very beginning, but I have now watched all of it several times. Our current inspector is played by an actor called Ralph Little, who I've seen in various things such as The Royal Family and Pint of Lager and Packet of Crisps. And I did discover recently that he does a podcast with Will Mallow, who is also in Packet of Crisps. And I think the name of the podcast is something like 2 Pints of Lager. Or I can't remember what it is, but it's something along those lines. And they really are just the characters from that particular programme in it. Okay, so I used Aloha for the top. This is just a base colour for the sea and the sky. I got an ombre brush, and I didn't want an exact ombre. This needed to be where the colours of the sand and the sea sort of blend together a little bit as the surf comes in. Right, that's right. So I cured it and did a second coat of both. I haven't shown all of it, but I wanted to show it because I didn't cure the second coat. I got some perfect white. Well, let's ombre it first. But yeah, I got some perfect white onto a fine brush. I think it was probably my Nio Nails 000 long. And as I always say with anything that's a bit random, I didn't think about it too much. I really need to clean that bottle, don't I? I'm generally pretty good at keeping them clean, but that one just seems to blob everywhere. Right, so there's the brush. And just pulling it through that edge where it meets, through the uncured gel. There we get back in camera, and it just creates that sort of the surf effect of the waves gently brushing against the sand. Very calm and Caribbean. So what I did was I left that sit for about 30 seconds before putting it in the lamp, so it just had a chance to sort of bleed in. The colours had a chance to bleed into one another. It gave a more natural effect. So yes, using Boy Bye and Oh Happy Day. This is where that's right, I just did the line across, like the horizon line, and most of this colour disappears, but it was a good one to use to define the difference between the water and the sky, and try and get that as straight as possible. You don't want to have a wonky horizon. I don't think I quite managed it. It was close. And at first I thought that would be more visible at the end, so I tried to blend it in a little bit. But actually in the end it didn't make any difference. So I just used the ombre brush to try and smudge it in a bit, but actually in the end it didn't matter. Okay, so I used 3 different blues. I used the Perfect Blue, the Bluebell and the Caribbean Sea to create the differing depths of colour excuse me, of the sea. Okay, so using the Naya Nails long brush again, I layered them all on. I think I used the ombre brush on this, excuse me, and decided it wasn't such a great idea, but again, it didn't cause any problems. So I just went over it with the other colours. No curing between these colours because I really wanted a blended, finished look. And I went from the darker one at the top towards the lighter one at the bottom in order to show that the level of depth of water. As the water gets deeper, it gets darker, so as it goes further away from the shore, it's darker. So then using the ombre brush, I blended those colours in. And again, a really rough blend, because I wanted it to look as natural as possible. Adding some more layers of depth. Happy with that, and pop it in the lamp. So the next job is the sky. So I did a very, very, very thin layer of the Aloha over the sky. And again, this was so I could paint over it without it being cured. Just remove the blob. There we go. So I used Perfect White, which I had put next to the other blues. And again, using the really fine brush, just did some wispy clouds through the sky. And I let it sit for a while before putting it in the lamp so it could blend or bleed into the other colours. Again, giving a more natural, soft look to those clouds. And into the lamp for 30 seconds because it's Madam Glam. Madam Glam's 30 seconds. So now we've done the background, it's time for the island. So I used the Boy Bye, which is not advertised as a jelly gel, but it has that translucence of a jelly gel. So I printed out the photograph that I showed earlier, and I have that next to me. I'm looking at the shape of the island, how it sort of tapers off towards the right, and it's quite steep at the left. And then popped it into the lamp. And this is a tree-covered island. So my main aim was to get the colour as non-uniform as possible. I wanted there to be sort of lighter areas and darker areas, just to show the tree, so I was stippling that on rather than brushing it on. And then I mixed the Boy Bye with some of the Perfect Blue for that horizon line. Into the lamp for 30 seconds, have a check, am I happy? There was a bit I did off camera a little bit later. I think it was after I top coated. I buffed it down again and just used a little bit of the Oh Happy Day and did a couple more bits of stipple just to give that little bit of extra depth and shadow to it. I think that was just smoothing out the edges. you could be on a Caribbean sea now looking at that, right? Caribbean island on the pretend island of Santa Marie. Not Santa Marie, is it? It's Saint Marie or San Marie. Nice no wipe top coat. Pop it into the lamp, and it was after that bit that I buffed it and did a little bit more stippling just to get that more definition. So there's the photograph I did from, and you can't really see the nail because of the shadow, but you can see that sort of idea I got. And there's the finished thing. I enjoyed doing that one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.